Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3. Hardly any movement of the arms now, okay? Stretch them up real tight, high in the sky, and don't move them. Only your body and your hips and waist move. 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight to the left foot. Good Tai Chi posture. Kick your right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet, choose the right side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cross and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good golden cockerel, good Tai Chi posture. Dropping the shoulders, tucking the butt, hollowing the chest. Good thoughts, tongue on your palate. Head straight up. Actually opening up a little bit. Golden cockerel on its left. Kicking out, gather, center, tuck the elbows and follow. Last set. Holding your ball, root down, good Tai Chi posture. T stance, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, T, L, bow stance. Fingers at least eye level. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, round out, shift the weight. Out on an L, move the energy, turn the hips and waist. Hands go for the ride. Sit back, sit down, twist step, T stance, listen carefully, L stance, bow the legs, part the wild versus main. Cloud hands in the 24. 1, 2, 3, 'Look at the backhand and hook it, T stance out across L, single whip. Half step, sit back, high pad on the horse, cross, step out, palms down, left, gather center, kick out, right, and in, L stance heel, look through your double punch. Sit back, sit down, pivot all the way around. Left hand, left foot coming up, kick out, left, in, stack yourself down, veer to the left, serpent on the left, shift your weight up, golden cockerel. Toe, spin, hook, split, stack all the way down, halfway, veer to the right, set, spin out, golden cockerel, heel, hold your ball, heel, spin the ball, maiden on her right, sit back, twist out, hold your ball, spin the ball, maiden on her left, half step to the back, cross the hips and waist, down to the bottom of the seat. 1 hand, 2 hands, and your foot, Start in the middle, heel out, flash arms. Sit back, sit down, pivot, deflect, bring it in to parry, and then to punch. Strip the guy off, roll back, sit down, push him down, come up, push him out. Twist, open, in, embrace the tiger, rotate, push him closer, push him away. Drop the shoulders, flex the knees, let gravity take you all back home. Okay, Yang 10 form, okay? Make it the best you know how. Commencing form, open, okay? Let's start to begin with the 24 facing the clock wall, just through, just for a portion, okay? Good Tai Chi posture, dropping the shoulders, concentrating, calming down, centering, using our core. Commencing form, shift weight, open, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate, deep breath, pull up that water, shoulder level, push down, make yourself small. Form your ball on a T. Out and to the side. Bottom head advances. Move the energy across to the tips of your finger. Part 1. Sit back and sit down. Pivot out. Shift your weight. Center with the ball. L stance. Move the energy across the system. Turn the hips and waist. 2. Sit back. Sit down. Zigzag to the right. Better balance with the ball. Heel out. Move the energy. Split the energy. 3 and final. Half step. Hold your ball. Spin the ball. Sit back on the back. Watch the advancing right. On the toe of your front. Lift it off. Set it up correctly. White crane spreads its wings. Drop your front foot. Tuck the elbow in. Bisect your body. Swirl back. Look back at your right that's higher. All together, step out on the heel. Brush knee 1. Sit back, sit down. Zigzag to the left. Walk in that direction. Set it up correctly. L stance. Multitask. Brush knee 2. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out. Walk in that right. All together. Use your hips and waist. Final brush knee. Half step forward, sit back, rock the front, play your lute on your heel. Center the front hand, right hand higher, glance, all together. Lift off, toe, heel, pivot on the ball of your foot, meet in the center, repulse the monkey 1. Lead with the toe, open, lift, all together, swivel on that axle, shift the weight, 2. Center, higher, glance, lead with the toe, all together, and 3. Center, lead with the toe, glance, modify that foot, and 4. Hold your ball on a T stance, out and to the side, forearm your opponent, pause, turn the hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail. Sit down, sit back, look back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn again, push from the center, energy out, separate and roll back and sit down. Spiral up, lunge forward, other side, twist step, T stance, L stance, ward off, turn the hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail. Contact, turn, push, separate, roll back, sit down, spiral up and out. Twist step, cup, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, hook, out, 9 o'clock, single whip. Cloud hands. Let's take it regular way now, okay? Field, left foot forward, single whip. Okay? Sit back, sit down, pivot, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 1. Use your hips and waist. 2. Shoulders are dropped. 3. Hook at 2 o'clock. Out L, single whip. Half step. Sit back, rock the front, lift off the ground, pat your horse. Cross at the wrist. Step out, palms down, left heel, gather the energy, up, and kick out, right. In, tuck the elbows, L stance, then bow stance. Okay, let's cover that. Let's go over that section now, okay? Rather than just keep on doing it. But what we want to do is try to engage our core, center ourselves, and clean up our little movements a little bit more, okay? But we're going to start from the beginning, okay, to reinforce what we learned in the beginning. And Ken's saying, what? Use your shoulder girdle. I would love to have recorded that, but so now they're going to forget. All right. So I think in a nutshell, what he's trying to say, if you use the stuff that you've warmed up, more than likely you'll be using your core. But if you just do your small itty bitty knitting things, then you could do that at home. All right, starting from the beginning, okay? Good Tai Chi posture gets us to a lot of places in a very comfortable, good formation, okay? So dropping the shoulder now. Some of you I see bending that knee right at the start, but why shouldn't we bend it? We should keep it soft and we should keep it ready to go. But right now at this, is it static? In this still position, we haven't started, we haven't generated our energy. So the knee should not be bent, because once you bend it, it's saying there's energy that's being stored or has moved there. So they shouldn't be tight in, but they should be soft and relaxed. So this is the posture, okay? Thinking through, how do you commence? You're at 50-50, gain the weight on the right. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 allows you to then lift off. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate slightly, deep breath using your diaphragm to pull up the water, draw it up at shoulder level, reverse the process. How? Flex the knee, drop the shoulders, tuck the elbows. Gravity takes you down. Form your ball, left hand 2 inches, right hand on the top chest, form a T stance. Step out on an L, move the energy from the flat of your foot across up through your body, through your shoulders, through your neck, to part the wild horse's mane to the fingertips. Sit back and sit down. The more you can sit down, the energy then can be used right now to center, to hold your ball out on an L, then move all that stored energy for 2. Sit back, sit down, store the energy, zigzag to the right, ball for better balance, T, L, then bow. Final parting of the wild horse's mane. And at this point, the fingertips should be at least eye level. Once you dip it below eye level, you're throwing off your Tai Chi posture because your head is not erect, okay? Make sure. Half step forward means you're right on the right toe as you form your ball. Sit back on that back foot as you spin the ball to the left to watch the right hand go up. On the toe of the front, lift that front foot up, put it on its toe, stretch it out. Make sure the baby finger slices through the edge of your right shoulder blade. Weight on the back. So actually now tucking that butt really helps. Hollowing out the chest really helps. You don't want any weight on the front. You're going to then tuck the elbow, come to the middle of your body, then drop down the foot and drop down that hand, that right hand. Swirl back, look back at the higher hand, which is your right. You're going to set it up. How? Lift off the ground of the front, bring it to the ear, set it to its heel, push that left hand down, brush knee 1. That's a lot of things, but make sure you do it all in at the same time. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, look at the left hand now that's higher, shift your weight, all together, ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist. 2, make sure you're in good Tai Chi posture. fingers at your eye level. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that left, right zigzag, shift the weight all together, brush knee final. Half step on the toe, sit back, rock the front foot, and play your lute. When I say rock the front foot, it's not a exaggeration, but because you're storing the weight on the back, that front foot does rock. Setting it up correctly for repulsing of the monkey. Weight on the back, bend of the right knee, only the heel of the front. The right hand is dipping towards the left elbow. Play your lute. Open by bringing the right hand back and higher than the middle, the hand in the front, all together. Ear, toe, heel, pivot on the ball of your foot as you meet in the center, slide back, weight on the back, setting it up correctly. Front hand should be at eye level, open, lead with the toe, all together. Ear, toe, and heel. Pivot on the ball of the foot and slide back and push forward. 2, center, higher, glance, lift off, lead with the toe, heel, pivot on the ball of the front foot, slide. Last one, center, higher, lead with the toe, all together. Modify that foot so that it's now cross-section on a line of the tile, so that when you turn to ward off, there's not too much fudging of that planted right foot. T-stance. How do you ward off? Step out on an L, bottom hand advances to forearm your opponent. Push him out, but only that distance that you need. If you should take it too far out, you lose your Tai Chi posture. You also pause at this moment. Then you turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands so they're staggered. You're in a bow stance. You want to now sit down, sit back. Weight on the back to allow the hips and waist to turn. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, then push the energy. So you don't want to mix that energy with the turning of the hips and waist. The hips and waist turn first, and then the energy is applied after. Twist step, T-stance, center with a ball. Let's do it a little better. Step out on an L, bottom hand advances, ward off. Push them out. Pause. Turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands. How do we get back there? We sit down. We sit back. We turn our hips and waist to look back. We contact. We turn our hips and waist from the center of the body, then let that energy out. Then separate the energy and roll back and sit down. Make yourself small. Gather the energy to push up. Save it for pushing out. Sit back, sit down. Twist step, 12 o'clock. Twist out to the 9. Is this right? And hook and T and out and single whip. Okay, let's work on that one. The transition from grasping of the bird's tail to how to get to single whip. Okay, so one of the little details and refinement that I want to enact is forearm, pause, I don't know, 1-2 seconds, then turn, and then grasp. So watch how I grasp. The hands stay here, and all I do is I use my core. How? I sit down, I sit back. How do I get back there? I turn my hips and waist. I contact. How do I get to the front? I turn my hips and waist, my energy's still in the back. I push my energy through my system. I separate. And what do? How do I come back? Do I just pull my hands back? No, I sit down, I sit back. I come up, I still have energy in my back foot, then therefore I can lunge forward. So ever since I did this demonstration, my hands were just there. I didn't have to worry about where to place them because everything was generated by the core. Okay, let's just try that for a little bit, okay? How shall we do it? Okay, going this way first, okay? Right foot ready to go, right hand on the bottom, holding your ball. We're going to ward off correctly. We don't want to stand upright like this, because if we stand upright like this, who's going to take, what's the element that's taking us to power ourselves to ward off? It's going to be our hand. But in Tai Chi, the hands only go for the ride because we're trying to engage our core. So we can never do Tai Chi straight-legged. We have to store the energy on one foot. Therefore, the left foot takes all the energy right now. So now you see that there's a flex in that knee. Right foot ready to go, right hand on the bottom, okay? Store that energy so we can use the energy. Step out, move the energy through the flat of your foot, turn the hips and waist, ward off. The ward off now, the hand should be about just below eye level, but not low, okay? So you're in a bow stance. Your hips and waist are addressed to the outward right foot. You're going to pause. Then you're going to turn your hips and waist, leave your hand there, then grasp the bird's tail by setting up in a staggered way, palm to palm, but staggered. You're in a bow stance. How are you going to get back? You're going to sit back and you're going to sit down, but you're only in midway. What are you going to do? Turn the hips and waist to look back. Your hands go. You contact. You turn your hips and waist. Middle of the body, push that stored energy out. Separate it, roll back, and sit down and store more energy. Push the guy up, push the guy out. Other side. Sit back, sit down. Twist step. T stance, holding your ball. Okay, and you know that now you need that right foot full of energy. Step out on an L. Move the energy from the flat of the foot through your system, through your neck, through your head, out through the tips of your fingers. Ward off. Pause. Turn the hips and waist. Reposition the hands. Now, sit back, sit down, turn at the hips and waist. Contact. Turn at the hips and waist, middle of the body, press and push out that energy. Roll back and sit down. Store the energy, push up, use that energy to push forward. Okay, one more time, no words. Twist step. Okay, some words, repeating what we just did. T stance, L stance, move the energy, forearm, turn the hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail, don't move your hands, contact, don't move your hands, push, don't move your hands, Roll back. Push up, push out. Sit back, sit down, store the energy. Twist, ball, store the energy. Out, move the energy. Pause, turn. Hands go for the ride. Contact, push. So if you're following me and you get the sensation, this is all what Tai Chi is about. You're thinking through the process, you're engaging your core, the energy is flowing because you're directing it by the power of your hips and waist and the shifting of the weight. All of Tai Chi is mind-driven. But the person or the thing that's directing your movements are your hips and waist. If your hips and waist are engaged, more than likely your core is engaged. And the hands are just the extremities that move because they're attached. Okay, one last set. Make it smooth. Use your core. Okay, so in the final movement, when you push out, don't be in a rush to get into the next movement. So just a shortcut, back here, sit down, push him out, and push him out. Don't forget, this is like I want to say like it's not an abrupt period. It still has that ... Don't be in a rush because the energy you stored here then comes up and it needs to go out fully, draining this guy all the way through here. And if you really concentrate hard, and we were talking about sensations and feelings, you will feel something in the center, and that's where the energy is being directed, not on the 5 fingers, but something in here. So you want to finish that off, use it up so that you can then recycle it, okay? It's all yours, it's all yours. And when we do things in a group situation, there's more energy, so we're using each other's energy, you know, so in a good way. Okay, so after grasping at the bird's tail, we said that we would learn how to get into a single whip, right? Cloud hands. Oh, yeah, and then we get into a single whip and then we do cloud hands, okay. So how do we get into single whip? Left foot, right foot forward, come out. Okay, so when we extend this way, we still have a bend in the elbow, because that's Yang style. Sit back, sit down, pivot, drop that right hand closer to your danten. And the stem and cup of the left is at 12. Spin out to 9. Use your hips and waist, 12. 2 o'clock, shift the weight, T, hook. Left hand by your shoulder coming up to your mouth area. Step out, put the palm out, push out, 9 o'clock, single whip. Come back, sit back, twist step, and then you're at 3. So how are we going to do this now? Okay, push out, getting back, trying to drill this and see if I can form a connection here. Push out, this is the last repulsing of the monkey. Last ward off, grasping of the bird's tail. Sit back, sit down, pivot, 12 o'clock. Use your hips and waist, 9 o'clock. Almost like if you're doing a cloud hand. At 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you're gonna shift the weight, hook the hand. So this hand comes out and it just hooks. Softly, hooks. Left hand by your shoulder, spins out, turns out that wrist, and comes out this way. And elongate this. Not elongate it so that you're gonna have to fall, but elongate it. I would say almost knee, toe, hand, right in line, okay? Sit back, sit down, twist, 12, okay? I'm still not getting that connection where, okay, let me just do it for you. So we're here, huh? One more time, I want to put some words to it. Push out. So when we form our hook, we can turn the hand, and then right about, I say past 12, maybe 1 o'clock, you hook, but you firm down on the right. Therefore, you can now bring that left in and form a T. Then this guy scoops up this way. And then why does it go forward? You're going to step out and you're going to turn your hips and waist, and there we have it. So although it seems a little contrived, the body, the lower body is trying to tell the upper body, you can do it, it's natural. That's where we want to be. So I know that wasn't a good angle because you're seeing my back. So I still want to figure this out. Let me see if I can go down an angle. Push out. Something like that, okay? And I'm going slowly so that it's not as this is what I was doing. Well, maybe I could do it this way. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. This way. This way, sorry. Push out. Right foot forward, push out. Sit back, sit down, pivot, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Begin to hook, shift the weight, 2, out L, push out, 3, or 9, okay? I think there's no way that I can connect it. We have to keep on shifting. Right foot forward, push out. Sit back, pivot, 12 o'clock. Turn the hips and waist, 9 o'clock. Turn the hips and waist, 12 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, shift your weight, hook the hand, T. Left hand closer to your cheek. You're going to step out on an L, turn the hips and waist, moves that hand, pushes out, single whip. Sit back, sit down, pivot, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Cloud hands. Use your hips and waists. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this time at 1 and 2 o'clock, you're going to drop that wrist, hook, come out again, and end in cloud hands, beginning and end cloud hands the same way. Okay? Any questions on that? So, although in Tai Chi walk, we're always angling in different ways and exaggerating, and I want to do that right now, but in cloud hands, it's still a challenge. It seems easier that we can walk sideways, but we're still shifting our weight. And so can you see that that can be pretty comprehensive, pretty total, so that what we can do forward and linear on angling ourselves, we can still do a sideways thing. It seems like it takes care of our total system. What did I say I wanted to do? The Tai Chi walk, okay? Just like in the 16, I think we don't know enough of Tai Chi walk. If we can better our Tai Chi walk, our whole system will then be enhanced with our upper body. But if this bottom portion drags, like if you don't know what a T stance is and an L stance, then it's not going to help your total Tai Chi when you add your upper body. Okay, so let's really take real close note and kick it up a lot of notches, okay? So good Tai Chi posture. Although we put our hands here, the shoulders can still be dropped. So if you're not sure, put your hands here and just drop your shoulders. When you drop and sink down, you should have felt heavier on your feet, but also what happened? Your butt took a dip inwards, and as a result, your chest was hollow. So we don't just put it here and not feel anything. We're trying to tune into our body, okay? Relax knee, but not bent, because no energy has started. We're relaxed. We're going to pivot with our right heel as if we're walking in that zigzag direction, so that both hips are facing the right zigzag. We're firming down on our right foot to make that substantial, to obey gravity. Our left one is on our toe. We're going to step out on an L. And on an L, that means that front foot should actually fall down on a line or parallel to a line. The toe cannot be flared in or flared out. The weight is still on that right foot, the pivoted flat foot. From that storing your energy, that's your substantial, that's your foot obeying gravity. From the flat of the foot, through the ankle, through the leg, through the knee, through the thigh, through the hips, through the waist, through the chest and shoulder, then we can turn the hips and waist and come down. Knee not beyond your toe. You're in a bow stance, bow, arrow, but not locked in, but not dipped in, but relaxed knee. We don't have any energy stored. It's about an even distribution. Tai Chi says to be safe, you've got to drain, you've got to have an insubstantial. So how do we do that? We sit back and we sit down, cautioning you not to throw your back. Just keep that same Tai Chi posture. Therefore, your knee is bent because you're accumulating all your body weight and energy. To allow your left heel now to pivot out, you're going to walk into that left direction, so both hips should be addressed. Then you're going to shift the weight, put your heel here as a placeholder, keeping the energy here. Now, when you want to get into a bow stance, the energy has to come through the system all the way, turn the hips and waist, and then flatten down. it cannot, and you don't have to do this with me, you stored it nicely, it cannot just jump here. Doesn't work that way. Okay? It will eventually catch up with you and harm some of your joints. So here it's stored, comes through the system, grows within your body, turn the hips and waist, and gently comes down on a bow stance. Sit back and sit down. Why? To accumulate the energy, exaggerate your movement. Twist out, walk in that direction, shift your weight, L, flat of the back foot, stores the energy, grows through the system, turn the hips and waist, and comes down. So you're saying, wow, I catch on. I don't store enough weight. I don't store my energy. That's my problem. And plus she's going really slowly, and I don't have that kind of stamina maybe, or whatever. You just feel like you get it. But Tai Chi walk is very deliberate. If you can do it in this pace and in this manner, when you add your upper body, this guy is going to take off for you. But once you fudge it and you say, I don't really get it, but you know, she won't know, and I can still do it, that's when I think you will find yourself a little bit short of what you can or should be doing, okay? So as much as it's discipline, it's good stuff, okay? It's real good stuff. And over the period of time, yes, you can do Tai Chi now, and you can do it pretty good, say, but over the course of a period of time, as you perfect your Tai Chi walk, it gives you much, much more mileage, okay? So this is exactly shifting of weight, storing the energy. Only the substantial has the energy that can move, okay? So that's good. Now we're gonna say, well, we know this, so how are we gonna part the wild horse's mane, or how are we gonna do our Tai Chi walk? And when we just end it here, you're gonna say, oh, what a relief, and what do? You stand up. But can you see over the course of 6 minutes that Yang 24 is, and you don't have that stamina, you are gonna stand up, right? But to do good Tai Chi, you're still at that same level, and you have that endurance and you have that stamina. So that's something that you should be working towards, okay? And I know, I'm very realistic. I know individuals in this class that have, you know, challenging moves or things to do with their body, and so they do the best they can. But it's still, I can still present it, and you can still work towards a better formation or alignment, okay? Get it? No? Yeah? Okay. I might want to add, okay, 2 things, maybe 3 things. When we ward off, I'm asking you to pause, because I think I've say pause, but people aren't really pausing. So in previous lessons, maybe you'll find most people going like this, right? So I'll do it again. They come out, they ward off, and then they sweep up and they come. Because their idea of Tai Chi is that it's always swaying and moving. But we're trying to get back to say Tai Chi is martial arts based. And if it is martial arts based, what are you trying to do? What is the intent? It's trying to push the guy out. You just want that space to push him out. Then you turn your hips and waist, and then you grasp the bird's tail. So you don't want to, you want to be clear, you want to define your movement and then do what's right, rather than come out, which most people think it is. But we're saying, no, don't get into that rut. Keep it clean, keep it where it was originated from, but still keep it in a dance, still soft, okay? And then grasping the bird's tail is actually pulling the guy down. So how am I pulling from him from here to there without using my hands? My hands are not powerful. It's the core that you want to address. So You guide him, you use his energy. He's forceful, he has energy. You guide him by pulling him and using the force of the back foot and the hips and waist, and contacting, turning again, but saving that energy for the center to push him out. He's going to push back at me. What I do? Accumulate his energy so I can store more. To then power him. And I'm not, you see this foot here? The energy is still here. So I draw back, I push him down. But I want to save some to push him out. So we don't want to shortchange ourselves. We can store the energy here. But if we don't understand how to use it, you might decide, oh, I can push him out and push, use the energy up, and my hands are still here. Then this becomes just a hand movement, whereas you want to connect all of that. Use your whole body to bring that force together. Okay, and then although this is, say, at the base of my toes, I still have energy that can go through my stem of my toe and my toes, my tip of my toes, so I can extend this. But once you say, oh, I need to get into rush to get into cloud hand, you shortchange yourself because you stored everything so nicely, okay? So on and on it goes. All right. Yeah, all right. Anything? Any side comments? Good job. Okay, see you next time.